days may be getting shorter and the nights longer, and the close of 2013 may well be in sight, but this city continues to party on. Welcome to Derry Londonderry UK City of Culture 2013. Welcome to the show. I'm in the Millennium Forum. Built to mark the new millennium, this wonderful building was opened in 2001. It has a seating capacity of 1,000 and we're told it has the largest theatre stage in Ireland. It's much more than a theatre though. It's a meeting place, a conference centre and hosts entertainment of all kinds. I'll show you around later. Coming up on the show today, the biggest Halloween celebration in Ireland takes over the streets of the city. Choirs from across the globe gather for the hugely successful inaugural International Choral Festival. For the first time ever, the Turner Prize leaves the banks of the Thames for the banks of the Foyle. We take a look at this year's chosen exhibits. We see music in the making when songwriters, singers, engineers and producers come together at the Nerve Centre in a week-long jam session. And soon to come to possibly a town near you, the latest Irish dance show, Titanic Dance. When Derry City Council first organised on-street Halloween celebrations back in the early 90s, little did they think the people of the city would be so enthused they would take to the streets in their thousands, year on year, turning a holiday into what is now not only the biggest Halloween night in Ireland, but one of the biggest Halloween celebrations in Europe. It's the night when people and families from near and far dress up in all manner of costume, then converge in the city and have an absolute ball. We've loads to show you and we'll begin with Inferno, a magical journey through a dark and decadent world at Ebrington. Inferno attracted 7,000 people over 3 days, but not to be outdone, our 400-year-old city walls put on a bit of a show as well. Halloween is a great time for families. There were shows, storytelling and much more from St Colum's Hall to the Guildhall. See if you can spot yours truly in here with a bit of a witchy vibe. really will party anywhere. The centrepiece of Halloween in Derry is the annual parade. This year's theme was the Carnival of Lost Souls, and it ended with a fantastic fireworks display. Halloween Derry style. Now I'm in the piazza of the Millennium Forum with General Manager Paul Mason. Hello Paul.
Hi, how are you?
I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the Millennium Forum.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the Millennium Forum was part of the Millennium legacy and was funded as such through the Millennium Commission. We were built in 2001 and we're now in our 12th year of operation. We host everything from conferences to West End performances and local gigs with up-and-coming musicians, and some of the major comedy talent that we have in the UK also come and visit us as well from time to time. We're a 1,000-seat auditorium, but we're flexible in that the floor itself is on a hydraulic lift, so our floor can come right up the same height as our stage, and also at the touch of a button we can bring the ceilings in, so we can actually compress the whole auditorium. A bit like a James Bond movie, we can compress the whole auditorium into a room that will hold anything down to 100 people, right up to the full 1,000. So it's a really flexible and versatile venue.
Fantastic. And I was wondering also if you could tell me how successful the Millennium Forum has been as a cultural venue here in the city since it opened.
Well, because of our location, which is right within the heart of the city centre, we're actually on Derry's famous walls. We are what we would certainly believe we're the cultural hub of the city, because we do so much of our outreach work involving local students, local youth groups. We have almost 3,000 children through our doors every week for drama and dance and singing classes, and so there's a variety of workshops that already take place that keep us at the heart of the community with the young people. Couple that with the fact then that all the performances that we do range from local productions right through to some of the huge West End shows such as Grease, and we've just hosted we're about to actually host Teenage Kicks, which is really one of the most exciting productions that we've been involved in as part of City of Culture Year. So as a cultural establishment, we're at the heart of it, we really are.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for talking to me today, Paul.
You're welcome, thank you.
Now, the streets of Derry, Londonderry recently rung aloud with voices of soprano, alto, tenor and bass as we hosted our first ever International Choral Festival. Mind you, with its many excellent choirs, this city is itself no stranger to choral music. But what made this event so enjoyable was the amazing cultural mix of choirs from across the globe. They brought with them a variety of sounds never before heard here. Here's a little glimpse of the 4-day event.
Hey, of competitions and concerts, workshops, and it's across a full range of school choirs, local, national and international choirs. We're here tonight at the opening. This is the launch with our opening act, Latvian Voices, who are stunning act and who are travelling today with their beatboxer. So we're going to get some show tonight.
Today we've got the second day of the festival here. We're hearing from the primary schools today. It looked like I was teaching a couple of songs, but what I hoped I was teaching was also giving a few messages to the teachers and conductors about ways to do that.
Gospel is what we love, and I think gospel music is music that inspires people. It makes people feel hopeful. I know there's a lot of negativity in the world, the recession, all that kind of stuff. So we're here to make people feel uplifted, inspired, and to feel positive.
Every comment coming from the visitors, the international visitors with such experience in attending festivals literally all over the world, and they've been blown away with this festival in year one. But we must also recognise the fantastic standards that are achieved locally as well, and that's what this is all about. It's about sharing just the joy of singing together and sharing the sounds that we create, which are very different from Latvia or very different from Italy or very different from Belarus, and that's been the sheer thrill of the last 4 days.
What a fantastic event, and good to see a planned return. Still to come, the Turner Prize, jamming musicians and a look at a spectacular dance show. But it's time now to see what else has been happening in the City of Culture in the past month. Teenage Kicks, a punk musical launched here at the Millennium Forum. The show featured songs from the punk era, including the Buzzcocks and Derry's very own Undertones. Derry artist Lockie Morris held his new exhibition A Week in Goals in a former barbershop in Derry's Craigan estate. Lockie's career spans 4 decades since his first exhibition in Dublin in 1984. The Glassworks were the setting for Bunny's Vendetta, a black comedy set in a Soho recording studio. The play was inspired by Derry-born writer George Farquhar's adventures of Covent Garden. And Diwali, the Festival of Light, was celebrated at Derry's Guildhall, where there were displays of culture and craft, drama and dance for over 800 people. Now, for the first time since its inception in 1984 and to mark the first ever UK City of Culture, the United Kingdom's most publicised and often controversial art award, the Turner Prize, left its natural home at the London Gallery Tate Britain and relocated to a purpose-built gallery here in Derry, Londonderry. Named after the painter J.M.W. Turner, the prize is presented annually to a British visual artist under the age of 50. This year's 4 nominees are filmmaker and installation artist Laura Prevost, Tino Segal, who uses only people in his work, David Shrigley, working in sculpture and drawing, and painter Lynette Adam Bowaki.
To have the Turner Prize outside of England for the first time ever. Here, could you have imagined it, 4 or 5 years ago on a former military site in Derry, Londonderry? We're hosting the Turner Prize.
It's been a year-long process, in terms of working with Tate and also working with the artists. So it's actually fantastic to see that it's up and running now and that people are actually seeing it. So whenever we were selecting this work, David really wanted a piece that would engage with the public of Derry. What you see around you is a collection of drawings from various different groups who have come through the gallery space over the last few weeks. They have been mixed groups from children through to adults. So it's been really great to see that the gallery space is constantly being filled.
I think it's maybe nice to make a work that's inclusive to other people and that they can participate in the context of the Turner Prize, which is often criticised as being quite an elitist or inaccessible presentation of work. I don't think it always is. I think all the work is accessible on some level in the Turner Prize and in this show. But I think some people need a helping hand or a really direct invitation. So I guess that's what I've done here.
Laura Prevost is mostly known for her video and film work. It tends to be very layered with text and a lot of quick cuts and very diverse imagery. So it's quite surreal. And the narratives that she presents, so there are stories in her work, but they're quite cut up, and you have to do some work to put together a full picture for yourself. I think it's fantastic for Derry that there are people living and working in Derry who are participating in delivering and working with these artists, but it's about the contemporary world, which is, international and connected in a way that the world has never been connected before, and I think that this exhibition reflects that in a really positive and open and outward-looking way.
Tino is he's well known for working only with people, no objects. There's never any documentation, there's never anything in the space except people. And I think he doesn't want documentation for that reason, that he doesn't want people to see a photo of his piece instead of experience it firsthand. And I think that's what it's all about, trying to create a firsthand experience. So people really have to go and experience it, and everybody will have a different experience since you're meeting another person, and that exchange is always different, no matter how big or small the work is. I think there's an idea that modern and contemporary art is very difficult, and I think people just have to remember that there's no, even if you don't like it, there's no right or wrong. You don't have to like everything the same way. Not everybody likes the same food, but you can have an opinion about it, and that's important.
Lynette is a poet and a writer and an artist. She creates each of her paintings within just one day. The subjects within Lynette's works she calls composites, so they're made up of fictional characters that are created from memories, different encounters that she has had with people, and scrapbook gatherings.
This is the nice moment because this is when the artists are all equal. They've each got the same amount of space and the same amount of attention. The difficult moment is always in December when you have to choose one of them. And it's impossible to choose one over another in many ways. You can't really make comparisons with artists. It's not like a pianist or a football player. They're all good in different ways, but we will have to make one choice.
The Turner Prize. And for those of you who might get an opportunity to come and see the show, it runs until January the 5th. As part of the City of Culture Resonate programme, the Nerve Centre together with Blast Furnace Recording Studio played host to an exciting music project titled Crossover Sessions. The week-long project saw many different production teams and sets of musicians, songwriters and performers come together, many of whom had never met before. They exchanged musical ideas and collaborated on new pieces. Our cameras dropped in to see just how challenging the creative process can be.
This is part of the Resonate project, which has got 3 strands to it. The first one is access to recording. The second one is to capture and document unusual musical events. So we've been out recording concerts and gigs and any sort of collaborations that have happened. The third one is to catalyse and sort of encourage collaboration and new work. And it's a chance also for people to work outside the genre that they're used to. You know, a lot of musicians would go through their entire career playing rock music or jazz or whatever. And the idea is that we bring in people from different disciplines together to try and just create something different, something interesting.
The idea is just to get a group of musicians together that never worked together before, and so as they jam, somebody come up with something, might come up with a bass line or that fits with the drums. Getting the tunes all usually fairly easy, but as well as the tunes any good, that's the thing, you know. You can come up with 5 or 6 different tunes to the same song, but finding out getting the best one, that's a difficult part, really. You know, we could spend some time with the tune now that's there and fit words with it, and maybe in an hour's time listen back and go, no, that's not a great tune. You don't know until you try it, you know. Right, so let's record it.
Even when you're alone, you keep marching on.
I've been asked to do the lead vocal on this particular track that Glenn's producing. So the boys put the bass, guitar, lead guitar, rhythm, all the drums, and whenever they had it all done, all the tracks were done, they put the vocal on. So I've now put the melody on. So after the melody, there'll be some backing vocals. Glenn's producing, Paddy's on the desk, and that'll be the track finished. So hopefully we'll be out of here very quick time.
Today I'm in for a session for the Resonate project. Basically I'm producing the session, so I'm trying to control 7 musicians and we're trying to get us all to come together to create one piece of music over about, I think it's an 8-hour session. I just told Jeanette what I needed and she disappeared in the corner for like 15 minutes and came out with perfect lyrics wrote. So it was a pretty easy point of the day.
The idea, I suppose, was to see how modern musicians and modern technology can cope with trying to recreate a classic sound, like the old Phil Spector kind of wall of sound.
There's different engineers for each day and different producers for each day, so it's this whole eclectic mix of everything. So there's no 2 moving parts going to be the same from day to day. So it makes it exciting for the end of the week to hear what's come out of everybody else's session.
What a great week of music. Over the past couple of decades, Irish-produced theatrical shows consisting of traditional step dancing have taken audiences the world over by storm. Names like Riverdance and Lord of the Dance gained huge international acclaim. Now, local man Raymond Sweeney has produced a brand new theatrical dance show based on the story of Titanic. Raymond is joined by a large cast of fellow professionals who themselves toured the world with some of the biggest Irish dance shows. Set on Titanic as the passenger ship makes its ill-fated journey across the Atlantic, this is a powerful and energy-filled show. Titanic Dance premiered this month and the audience loved it. The show begins its world tour in a few months and we dropped in to see Titanic Dance take to the stage for the first time. I leave you now with some highlights from the show. Until next time, goodbye.
Great show. The music, the lighting, the costume, beautiful. Brilliant show. The choreography was tremendous.
It was all very good. The dance and the singing and everything was very original, but it was old twist at the same time. It was very good.